There are 3 decorative columns required in this piece in the Tambour section of this secretary bookcase. And here are these columns. They're kind of like Doric columns with a base, a pedestal, and so on. And these are molded pieces that up here at the top and the bottom. I've got the spines here that I'm working on, mahogany spines, and there'll be moldings that surround this at the bottom and the top. But right now I'm trying to decorate these things with these holly, flutes or reeds kind of things. I've got some grooves in here in the mahogany that these thin pieces of holly fit into, and I've sand shaded these pieces of holly. So I'm now ready to glue up. I've glued up 2 of the columns. This is the last one to do. And I'm using hot-hide glue. The first thing I do is put these little bandings in the top and the bottom. Oh, I've got this reversed. The top is, this is the top. And I'll just put a little glue in this groove where this banding goes. The banding's a little bit longer than it needs to be. After drying, I'll just flush that with the mahogany. Okay, now I'm ready for these holly flutes. And the shading, I've had the shading on this side, so that's something that I have to keep in mind. Make sure that I'm consistent with the shading, and then I'll just paint the groove here. And I may put some of that on the bottom face of the holly. And then squeeze it into that groove. It's a 5/32 wide groove. I used a router bit for that on the router table. It's not very deep, maybe it's not even a 1/16, not even a full 1/16 deep. But that's sticking down in there. So I can move right to the next piece. I suppose you could use just white glue for this as well, but I'm used to making a mess with this hot hide glue, and then it's easy to clean up and scrape. I'll have to flatten all these pieces to a flush surface, and the glue will come off. Use a scraper blade to scrape these down. Okay. Number 3. For sand shading, I had to use a shallow pan. Since these are long pieces like this, and I couldn't curl them up, otherwise it would be hard to straighten them back. So I needed a wide, shallow pan with sand. And I used a camping stove for the heat. I'm pushing down quite hard, trying to get any squeeze out. Now that I've got to push this thing up. Oh, yes, that worked. Okay, last one. What's that? Get rid of that. Okay. Need to go on this face. Okay, that'll sit overnight, and I can scrape them flush, clean that up. I think that'll work.